every night, the same ritual unfolds. Your body falls asleep, your thoughts dissolve, and something within you plunges into an invisible territory. Science calls it sleep. Ancient traditions call it the soul's journey. But what about you? What do you think happens when you close your eyes? Does consciousness just fade away? Or does it simply shift planes? Have you ever wondered, where were you last night while your body was resting? Nothing we're about to discuss here is absolute truth. But these are observations, studies, and stories that together open up a fascinating question. What does your soul do while you sleep? Neuroscience has mapped sleep as a cycle of phases. Throughout the night, we repeatedly pass through periods of light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep, the phase where we dream most intensely. During these hours, the brain is far from inactive. It's organizing memories, regulating emotions, and performing a kind of chemical cleanup that restores the body's balance. And here's a fascinating discovery. In 2012, neuroscientists discovered the glymphatic system, a true cerebral drainage system that functions like the brain's garbage trucks. During deep sleep, this system literally washes the brain, eliminating toxic proteins and metabolic waste accumulated during the day. It's like each night is a complete system reboot, both physical and mental. As one researcher put it, it's like turning on the dishwasher before going to bed and waking up with a clean brain. But here's the curious part. Despite all this mapped activity, many people report experiences that seem to go beyond the brain: lucid dreams, floating sensations, encounters with those who have passed on. Science observes the effects, but it can't fully explain the subjective experience. So the question remains, does the brain create consciousness or merely translate it? There are moments when we're caught between sleep and wakefulness, and that's where the real mystery begins. Have you ever felt that sensation of falling just before you drift off? This is the hypnagogic state, where we can experience images, sounds, and odd sensations. Then there's the hypnopompic state, right upon waking, which blends dream fragments with reality. These moments are like a meeting point between the body and soul, a threshold where the brain changes frequency and consciousness seems to expand its boundaries. And there's more. Some people experience what's called sleep paralysis. They're awake, but the body hasn't responded yet. Science explains it as a natural mismatch between the brain and muscles. But those who've experienced it know there's an indescribable sense of presence, as if something beyond us is there. Maybe it's just physiology, or perhaps it's a glimpse into other planes of existence. What about you? Have you experienced any of these in-between states? Within sleep itself, there are different levels of consciousness. In a regular dream, the mind is active, but you're not aware that you're dreaming. But in a lucid dream, you know you're dreaming, and you can interact with it, change the environment, talk to characters, even fly. Can you imagine having total control over your dreams, being able to create worlds with just your intention? Then there's the out-of-body experience, or astral projection, reported by people worldwide. The sensation of floating above your sleeping body, observing your own room, or traveling to completely different places, often with a realism that feels superior to waking life. Researchers have tried to understand this phenomenon for decades. None could prove that consciousness actually leaves the body, but there's also no proof that it cannot. So here's a question to reflect on. If everything you see, hear, and feel is processed by your brain, how do you know which experience is more real, the dream or waking life? Perhaps what we call reality is just one of many possible levels of perception. For many spiritual traditions, sleep is a journey. Spiritism describes the soul partially detaching from the body during rest, connected only by an energetic silver cord. Hinduism teaches yoga nidra, a form of conscious sleep used to visit subtle planes and develop deep meditative states. Tibetan Buddhism sees lucid dreaming as training for death, a way to learn to keep the consciousness awake even when the body ceases. And in shamanism, Sleeping is a ritual of learning from spirits and nature, where dreams bring healing, visions, and guidance. According to these traditions, during sleep, the soul can review the day's events, meet with spiritual guides, participate in energetic healing, visit symbolic places, and sometimes reunite with loved ones who have passed on. All of this can manifest the next morning in vivid dreams, a feeling of peace, or even insights that change the course of your life. Have you ever woken up with a solution you couldn't find while awake? Or with a feeling that you've traveled far away? Many people describe their dreams and projections with rich details, colors, sounds, textures, as if they were really there. Why do some dreams feel more real than reality itself? Neuroscience offers a partial explanation. During REM sleep, the brain's visual cortex and emotional centers are extremely active. It's like a hyper-realistic internal cinema, but the psychologist Carl Jung saw something more. For him, dreams are messages from the collective unconscious, a part of our psyche that shares universal archetypes. That's why we sometimes dream of symbols we've never seen before, but that seem to teach us something essential. Spiritual traditions say this vividness comes from the spirit being in planes where thought instantly creates reality. It's not that the dream seems real, it is real, just on another frequency. Think of it like ice, water, and vapor. They are all different states of the same substance. Perhaps waking, sleeping, and death are simply different states of the same consciousness. So, what if you could transform your nights into journeys of self-discovery? Regardless of your beliefs, there are safe practices to amplify your awareness during sleep. Let's call it the conscious sleep ritual. First, before sleeping, prepare your environment. Low light, silence, and a comfortable temperature. Avoid screens for at least 30 minutes. Next, take a few deep breaths to calm your nervous system. Inhale 4 seconds, hold for 4, and exhale for 8. Then, plant a clear intention. Mentally repeat something like, I want to remember what my soul experiences tonight, or I want to recognize when I'm dreaming. When you wake up, don't move immediately. Stay still for a few moments to let the dream memory surface. Keep a journal by your bed and write down everything you remember. Images, emotions, places. During the day, practice reality checks. Ask yourself, am I dreaming right now? Look at your hands or try reading something twice. In dreams, these things often appear distorted. This habit trains your mind to ask the same question while dreaming, which can trigger lucidity. These practices don't guarantee an astral journey, but they will amplify your consciousness. Which one are you willing to try tonight? A true spiritual experience always shows itself in daily life. What do you do with your dreams when you wake up? Ask yourself, what did this dream want to show me? What emotion remained? Is there something I can apply in my waking life? It's not about deciphering hidden codes, but about recognizing that your unconscious, or perhaps your soul, speaks a symbolic language. The more you listen, the more it reveals. For example, if you repeatedly dream you're lost in an unfamiliar house, perhaps your soul is telling you that you're exploring unknown parts of yourself. If you dream you're flying with ease, maybe it's a sign that you're ready to free yourself from something holding you back. A healthy spiritual experience makes you more present, more loving, more conscious. Wisdom lies in discerning which inner voice is speaking. In the end, no single theory, neither scientific nor spiritual, can explain everything. The nature of consciousness remains one of existence's greatest mysteries. And perhaps that's what makes it so fascinating. Maybe everything happens within the brain, or perhaps the brain is merely a lens for something much, much greater. Until we have definitive proof, all we can do is observe, study, and feel, because the real value of these experiences isn't in proving the invisible, but in how they transform who we are. A dream that shows you a path, a projection that helps you lose your fear of death, a night of deep sleep that restores your peace. Ultimately, it matters less whether the soul traveled or the brain created a narrative. What matters is that you woke up different. While the body rests, the mind dreams. the soul travels, and the universe converses in silence. Sleep is not the absence of life. It's the moment when the soul realigns with the infinite. And when we open our eyes in the morning, perhaps what we call waking up is simply the return from another journey between worlds. So the next time you close your eyes, go with curiosity, go with intention, and listen to what your soul has to say. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe for more explorations into the mysteries of our inner world. Sleep well.